While the bird itself may struggle to fly, experts say that turkey demand is headed skyward. Ascending with it are the options afforded to consumers looking to add this bird to their daily diets. It is in this regard that turkey farming has received a boost in some countries and currently being adopted by Kenyan farmers. Its meat is favored for ceremonies, festivals, and highly prized gift items. Only few turkey farmers in Kenya have explored adding value to turkey products.
Yeah, this is a male turkey. You can see even when I'm touching, he looks still warm. And these are the carancles and the head part. You find he's also bald. And then this is the beak, of course. The eyes, the ears, you can see. And then now this is the snood. When he's strutting, he hangs the snood slightly down, and you see it actually shrinks back. And then a male, once he's mature of some age, beyond 1 year, then he also has a beard. You can find a beard on the side, on the front of. And now this is usually just the stomach area, and this is basically built up of fat.
Kusev Farm, located along Kiserian Rongai Road, is well known for turkey rearing. Peter Oyuaya, the owner of the farm, has been rearing turkey for more than 3 years now. As a turkey farmer, he has taken an initiative of adding value to turkey products such as feathers, quills from feathers, eggs, and meat products. When he began his business, he used to collect feathers from the turkey houses and burn them until he researched and learned that they could make beautiful ornaments to match ladies' attire.
Initially, when we began with turkeys, the pieces were very few pieces that we had initially, and out of nowhere we garnered to have numbers. And after the numbers, we found we had an environmental problem. Even when the turkeys died, or even when we cleaned up the pens, we had a lot of feathers that were flying around the compound, and the best alternative was to burn them. But as time went by, we found there was a better way of using the same feathers. I love art. I love beauty too. So in myself, I decided to see what we could do with the feathers, and came up with a solution. The solution was simple: to see whether we can enhance the feathers and see what tools can be used to work with the feathers, so that we can be able to get something that could be used other than having them all in the dump. Now all these are feathers, as you see, they initially were raw feathers. They have been cleaned up, brushed up from the sides. All the feather aspects have been removed, and we remain with the quill itself. Now see these quills as they are, they've already also been linked up together. Now these ones have made something that is now different from what they initially is. As we are speaking now, this can be made into whatever we want to make. These can be a set of earrings, and you'll find they are very easy to do and very easy to make. And I, being also the lead designer and being the one knowing what has to be done with my assistants around, we design and see what we can do. Now these are 3 quills joined together. You find they are literally actually very strong, and we can see if you can have probably a pair of earrings from this, as I work around and see how fast it's going to take me to have a pair of earrings.
Inside his value addition unit, Peter Oyuaya has laid out the feathers and quills he uses to make earrings, bangles, and necklaces. In just 5 minutes, he is able to make a pair of stunning earrings from these quills.
less than 5 minutes, one would have a set of earrings.
The idea behind the value addition project from the turkey products was drawn from his interest to conserve the environment.
We are conserving the environment, we are enjoying what is nature. We are using less plastic, most of plastic I think is the biggest menace. Yet we've got something that can emulate plastic and even be easily available and more natural. It would make us much more healthier, I think so.
Peter asserts that his love for art has enabled him to be creative with the feathers and quills. Using different artistic styles, he has managed to make necklaces, bangles, anklets, arm watches and earrings among other jewelry items. Even though most of the products made are for women, he is trying to come up with ornaments that can be favorable to men.
Art is natural. Beauty, they say, is natural. And sometimes, depending on what one has grown up with or what he loves best, I find making items from what we are recycling or what would otherwise be thrown away would be a better way of making items. And as is not only the jewelry, it looks simple now because this is what we began with. But as we're studying the quill and the feather itself, we are coming to realize that the feather can also do much more than just the jewelry aspect. You can enhance or you work out the jewelry. I have not seen any form of art using the feathers the way we use them, more so the quill. And we find we can even make different items. As I'm also doing this, if you are cautious or quite keen, you can see even my watch itself is made out of quill feathers. That has pushed me to a level that is going to be much higher because at the end of the day, I believe I will probably be able to make a shoe, a belt, or something to emulate. We make necklaces, we make different items. We've tried to make jewelry boxes. So we try to see what we can do with the quills and also form them in different shapes. As you'll see, all the many designs, because we've got more than 180 designs in terms of jewelry, both in the form of earrings and necklaces. What you'll find is that we've tried to manipulate the quill as much as possible to get it into different shapes and different forms and join them differently to see if we can be able to get the items that we want.
When Peter started out, it was a trial and error experience, and with time, he learned that he could do it as a business to generate more cash flow. After selling his first sample of necklaces and earrings to the visitors on his farm, he got more inspired and encouraged to kickstart his business venture. With time, the demand of his products grew, and that is when he decided not to look back.
I just decided to try, and apparently it looks like it works out.
Aside from making jewelry from feathers, Peter has taken his value addition project a notch higher. He recycles the eggshells into different artistic products such as candle holders, earrings, artifacts, and an upcoming endless artistic creation. Once he sells the eggs to the consumer, he advises them not to burn or throw away the shells, but instead he takes them back or at times buys from them.
Once the egg goes to the customers, the eggs that we sell for breakfast, usually we try to encourage the customer probably to open the egg from a good way so that they can use it in terms of enhancing what they have as a remembrance. Other than that, in most situations, when we also place eggs for hatching for our broody hens, not all eggs do hatch. So there are those that hatch, there are those that are not going to hatch. Those that do not hatch, we open them from the wider end, disinfect it, clean it nicely, and then we use it to make different items. Yes, a wide variety. If you can see, like now from this, what we have here, we've got beautiful eggshell earrings and different designs, more than 20 or 30 different designs, not only in the full eggshell as itself. We also have half eggshells, we also have quarter eggshells, and all have been enhanced at least to add some little strength, but in real sense they are very light.
Many people have less knowledge on adding value to eggshells from the poultry as they are mostly burned or crushed. Those who know better either produce artifacts or use them to make compost manure. Peter has remade eggshells to pretty cool artifacts that which he has painted and even superimposed portraits of notable people such as Mother Teresa and Bob Marley among others.
People did not know, sometimes one would say one didn't think outside the box. So somebody would buy eggs for breakfast other than just splitting the egg with a knife from the center with a fork to get the contents of inside. Somebody decides now to do the egg in a neat style such that they decide now to open up the egg such that now there's a neat opening and there's enough space, empty the contents and be left with a shell that one can use for something different.
Peter attests that his business is taking the right direction to growth as his products are being appreciated in the market, even to an extent of supplying major beauty pageants such as Miss World Kenya. Peter states that he still wants to create more items from the eggs and feathers. With his innovative energy, he plans to try and use the turkey claws and beaks to see what he can carve out of them.
In a lot of innovations, we've tried many different things. We've got candle sticks made out of eggshells, and still in the recycling program we also have, sometimes when we have a few bottles of wine, when we pick one or two other places, we split them, open one end, and we make candles that do also very well, mainly outdoors.
Coming up after the break, we shall see what products Peter harvests from turkey meat and how he's been able to create and have a breakthrough in the market.